spreading it around a little bit more to the other nations, right? So, Brother Karab, let's get into this article now. You know, it's almost like a month or so old now, and I implore everybody to check out this guy, Adam Erickson, right? He does regular and frequent updates on what's happening at the U.S. and Mexico border, because you haven't probably been seeing it in the headlines, but our brothers are still being held captive at the border, and their children, and their mothers, and mothers being separated from their children, and vice versa, right? So we got to keep all that in mind. Keep these brothers and sisters in your prayers, right, and in your thoughts, and this should be your fuel to go at this Bible hard, to learn these laws and commandments and what we're supposed to be doing, and the prophecies, right? Well, don't forget about the prophecies, right? You need to know what's ahead, right? And what we're working towards, okay? All right.
All right, the title of the article is U.S.-Mexico Border Update, Venezuelan Migration, Notes from Mexico Border Barriers. And this was written on January 9th, 2026. And like the brother said, Adam, like Isaacson?
Oh, yes. Okay. Isaacson.
All right. What could be 500 miles of buoy barriers have begun installation in the Rio Grande and Brownsville. San Diego is suing the federal government for laying concertina wire on city property.
Right. So we're talking about buoys with razor wire on them, right? Right there in the river. And we reported on that previously because some people had gotten caught up in that wire, But so-called white men don't give a damn because it's not his family members, right? So give me where we at? Give me Psalms 10 and 4.
Psalms chapter 10, verse 4. The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after Yahweh. Yahweh is not in all his thoughts.
That's right. He doesn't care that he's hurting, killing, stealing, robbing, holding people against their will, because he doesn't believe in the Most High, right? Most High is not even in his thoughts. See that? All right, so give me verse 9.
He lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He doth catch the poor when he draweth him into his net.
That's right. He's doing an excellent job at terrorizing the Israelites, right? And he's not about to let up. See that? So, you might say, not all white people are bad. Well, yeah, it ain't about white and black, right? It's about the wicked. Because a lot of so-called Hispanics and so-called blacks, they're wicked as all get out too, right? And they're operating just like the devil, right? They got their hand in his back pocket, and they're going to be destroyed right along with him, right? So you should separate yourself from that foolishness, okay? So, because he's always plotting against you, so-called Hispanic man, right? Puerto Rican man, Haitian man. So just because he gave you a job or whatever, he needs you, right? He's not doing you no favors, okay? That's what you got to realize. So understand who your enemy is and keep your eye on him, right? Otherwise, he's going to have you caught up, right? He's going to have you in a concentration camp, you see? Because like we're going to learn a little bit later on through the article, is that the federal government is buying properties to turn into holding facilities. And who do you think they're trying to hold? They're trying to hold the Israelites, you see? So-called blacks and Latinos. All right, so let's read on.
Venezuelan citizens living in the United States and elsewhere are voicing cautious optimism in the aftermath of the January 3rd U.S. military operation that extracted the country's authoritarian leader, Nicolas Maduro.
Right, but their main focus is to extract some oil up out of there.
Right.
Right? Go ahead.
Few are making plans to return. However, since the remainder of Maduro's regime is still in power and apparently working with the Trump administration, most of my clients were very, very happy in the immediate aftermath, but are now concerned you're going to have the same group of individuals in power in Venezuela. Helene Tetzley, and a Miami-based immigration attorney with around 100 Venezuelan clients, told CNN.
Right. So she's hearing firsthand from those Venezuelan natives that, you know, they concerned. And why is that? Because their leaders have made a contract with the devil. You see? So that's why I say it don't matter about skin tone. It matters about your spirit, you know? And a lot of people, particularly the Israelites, got wicked spirits, right? So, you know, we got to work on that. But we beseeching all the Israelites to wake up, you know, put away the wickedness, separate from your enemy, start keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, right? So we can wake up the elect and get beamed up out of here, all right? So give me Isaiah chapter 9, verse 16.
Isaiah chapter 9, verse 16. For the leaders of his people cause them to err, and they that are led of them are destroyed.
That's right. You know, political leaders, man, are bad news. You see? They're too easily bribed and manipulated. So you can't put no faith in them. You know? Politician does not have your best interest at heart. You know? They're there to make money. They're there to make contacts. They're there to network. They're there for fame, and they're there for perks. You understand? And they'll step right over you, reaching out for help to get the next bribe. You understand? Even though they might be your brother. That's what we got to deal with here in America, right? America is here to destroy you, right? It's here for you to throw away all of your cultural traditions, right? All of your faith and beliefs, and for you to join in the hand with the devil in trying to make money and keep your foot on the neck of the Israelites, right? So he can go a little bit longer, right? All right. Let's read on.
The uncertain current moment affects nearly 8 million Venezuelan citizens, about a quarter of the country's population, who have fled their country since the mid-2010s. Venezuelan people entered Customs and Border Protection, the CBP, custody at the U.S.-Mexico border 831,473 times since 2020.
So this ain't nothing new, right? That's what's been going on. But now all of a sudden, so-called white man, he's got a problem with what's going on in Venezuela all of a sudden, right? But it's been going on for decades.
Right.
You understand? But what it is he now can see how he can make a profit off something, right? Because that's what he's all about. G-O-D, right? Guns, oil, and drugs. Go ahead.
And about 6.91 million are living elsewhere in Latin America and the Caribbean.
Yeah. So-called white man never cared before that the Venezuelans been having to leave their country to try to find a better life. He never cared what was going on in Venezuela. You see that? Who you think got it like that? You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Hundreds of thousands more migrated to Europe, Canada, and elsewhere. In the United States, the Trump administration has pursued several severe measures to encourage recently arrived Venezuelan migrants to abandon protection claims and leave the country.
Right. So there you go. We'll read on.
They include cancellation or non-renewal of temporary protected status, TPS, for roughly 600,000 Venezuelan citizens living and working in the United States. The Supreme Court allowed the TPS termination to proceed while lower courts considered challenges. Cancellation of a 2-year humanitarian